tragic accidents just happen all the time in Carroll County. I'm just saying. It's a very, very unlucky place to live. They dropped the charges because it was accidental. You don't accidentally run over somebody and back up and try to do it again. Let's start from the beginning as investigative reporters, right? So you would ask the questions who, what, where, when, and why. Should be easy, right? Of course it is. Yes, I know, you're innocent until proven guilty, but what good does that do you if you are not alive? Well, hello, my silky friends. Well, at least I say hello, Daniel Berry. Um, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Hey, I'm gonna have to check you out. Just Deb, hello. It's good to see you. Gosh, I've missed y'all so much. Um, Laura Thompson. Uh, Silky, YouTube algorithm crap related to do more comments on your videos and posts help significantly. Yes, they do. Yes, they really do. When you comment, likes, a thumbs up, any kind of like, look, that's why, unless the comment is derogatory towards my guest, if I have a guest on and somebody makes a derogatory comment on the video after the live chat, then I will remove it. Say what you want about me. I don't care. I don't care. Say what you want. Everybody's got an opinion. Hello, Rachel. Uh, all right. SM, hello. Like, look, I know not all of you that are in here are members, and that's okay. I want you all that are members to know this was supposed to be a members only chat. And to tell you the truth, hello, Cyber Warrior. Gosh, I've missed everybody. I've missed being live so much. I love talking to y'all. But yeah, it was supposed to be members only, but guess what? I set it up that way and it crapped out. So I was there by myself. And sometimes I start, and nobody's there. It's weird though that nobody was there and I kept talking and I'm like, you know what? I don't think this is so I got my phone to see if it was broadcast. It's so messed up. So messed up. So, but that's okay. Look, I've done a members only live. One of the ones I did in the beginning, I ended up having like 4 or 5 other creators jump on panel with me, and we talked. It was like a 4 hour. Do y'all remember that? It was a great night. It was a great night. So, um, all right, but yeah. So I have, as you know, I have been gone. I am so far behind on Delphi. I'm trying to catch up, y'all. I really am. But I was gonna just talk privately about my experience in Nashville, but I guess I will not be talking privately. But I'm probably gonna say what I'm gonna say anyway. Um, and Oh, well, thank you, SM. Yeah, I just, what, for the reason I do members only is just for an extra time for people to just chat, privately with me. Although I get lots of emails and stuff like that. Oh, thank you, Rachel D. And hello, hello, Mother of Dragons. Good to see you. Um, yeah, I know. Look, it's a tough economy out there. And I understand that's why I set my membership as low as possible. And honestly, I talk so seriously most of the time that when I do members only, a lot of times for you people that don't know, we'll do a fun night. We'll watch, crazy stuff, talk about crazy stuff, read crazy articles. We just cut up and have a good time a lot of times, but not tonight because I've oh, yay! Woohoo, Rachel. Um Thank you. You and CJ did amazing coverage on Nashville. I didn't realize it was that bad. Yeah, that's what I'm going to talk about. Oh my God. Y'all. I was saying this in the other live that apparently wasn't, I don't know where. I don't know. It's in cyberspace somewhere. But really it happened. It was kind of crazy. Let me kind of take you to how we got there. Now, CJ goes on the road a lot, but he was coming back from another trip, and um, I had booked. It was my daughter's spring break. We just wanted to get away. I needed to burn some days at work, and so I thought, well, I'm going to go up to Tennessee because I had a couple of weeks ago I was covering with CJ the Buford Pusser case and how they exhumed Pauline's body, blah blah blah. And so I wanted to get up there and get some footage. Okay, I wanted to do one or two more shows on that, just kind of following and let people. So that was my plan. So I was staying at an Airbnb in West Tennessee, and CJ messaged me as he was coming, back home from his trip. He said, "Hey, how far are you from Nashville?" And so I had to look. I'm like 2.5 hours. And so he said, "Hey, do you want to go up and meet?" Because we had never actually met in person. Like we've known each other since we started our channels. Like we talk all the time, but physically meeting somebody is different. And so he said, "You want to go and like do a day up in Nashville and let's help search for Riley." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, sure, why not? I've got the week off. I might as well." So I'm telling you, uh, we went up there with the thought of, doing, at least me. Now, he probably had plans to stay there more, but I really just thought, okay, I'm going to go up there for a day and see what's going on, do what I can to volunteer and help search whatever, bought some boots and all that kind of stuff because they said it's a bad area. Hello there. Is it Sini? Sani? Sini? I'm sorry. I butcher names sometimes. But good to have you here. Yeah, but anyway, so that was just, what we had thought we were gonna do is do a day in Nashville and see what's going on. But y'all, when we got there, it was just crazy. All right. And I know he has tons and tons of footage to go through, as do I. And Cini, that was that what I said the second? Cini? I like that. That's nice. Hey, Four Pets. Yeah, I did have my boots on. I didn't actually have to use them. I used my tennis shoes most of the time. Um, but anyway, yeah, so we get down there, and let me tell you, the I mean, I've driven through Nashville. I've stopped in Nashville before, but I've never been a tourist in Nashville, okay? Um and so I really didn't have a good understanding of the layout. But when I was down there, of course, we parked and we went down to the river, okay, where the Cumberland River is. And w- what I noticed, okay, first of all, it's like maybe 2 blocks, a block, maybe just a block off of the some of the main strips and bars and stuff. Just 1 or 2 blocks, not much. And so we get down there, and it's the middle of the afternoon on a Wednesday. Of course, you don't expect a whole lot to be going on. Um, and we saw some locals, some joggers, and, people, they have these little scooters you can rent, and people just zip on down the sidewalk. And those things, you got to be careful. Like they will run over you, just back out of the way. And so we get down there, and I see a few. When I say a few, I mean two or three. Okay, very few people out there. And then I noticed that there is a rather large community of homeless. I mean, they're out on the street. And then as you can watch the day one of our footage, um, you actually you start looking in the bushes and you realize that there's a whole encampment down by the river. It's that thing like in a van down by the river. Except I'm sorry, y'all. You know SNL. Sorry, that was one of my favorite. Who was that? Was that Chris Farley that did that skit? Anyway, you see a lot, and it was. I don't know. I guess it was very shocking for me. It's a very beautiful street, well manicured, kept up, but you have all of these people. So I started talking to one of the homeless guys, and he had some medical problems. I'm a nurse, and so I was asking him like basically what happened and things like that. And there was really nobody else out there, so we sat up on the bridge where they found Riley's debit card just over the ledge that CJ almost tumbled down. And as we were there for hours, okay, just walking up and down, looking what we could see from the top without going down to the actual river, because it's really very difficult to get down there. If you watch yesterday's live, CJ did go down there, and you can see how, oh God, how awful. Um, and I decided to stay up top so I wouldn't be a liability. And I was thought I could film better up from there, but I couldn't get a whole lot. Um, but anyway, as we were kind of just camped out there, walking up and down the street, discussing what I'm sorry, can you hear my stomach growling? I need to eat something. Um, as we were just discussing, what could have happened, looking at the different possibilities of where if Riley fell, at that time we didn't know, he hadn't been found. And the locals started coming up to us and talking. And the locals were very, very upset about um, what they said was the lack of police investigation, and everything. And basically, the people who were looking for Riley and who were putting pressure on were YouTubers. Now, later in the day, we saw several other YouTubers out there. We saw a bunch of TikTokers. Everybody doing the same thing is bringing attention, because the locals are telling us, look, the police have not brought dogs in. They haven't searched this area. We haven't seen, there have been private citizens who have rappelled down the wall and stuff like that. But basically the residents were saying this is horrendous and the police aren't doing anything. And so if you go back, and I know CJ will be, putting together some shorter clips of videos, but the things that we learned about what goes on in Nashville all came from local people. This isn't from news reports. This isn't from, you know, hearsay, whatever. These are from people who live there. And some of them did not want to give their actual names. We do know their actual names, but for camera purposes or for voice purposes, they're called something else. Okay. Because it's a real problem. They live there, right? And there were so many things that we found. Hello, Jason V. Yeah, SM, that is exactly the way the residents felt. They felt like the police were useless. And then we started talking to one lady who kind of gave us a heads up on all of the corruption and stuff that's happened. This is big news breaking. Like the DA's office was raided, and there's a lot of stuff on the underbelly. And so we were like, what? I know I was like, what did we just walk into? We came here. Sorry, I don't want to miss anybody's comments. We came in here, really just trying to help search for a What we assumed at this point, honestly, we assumed we were looking for a body. We hoped that Riley had, we knew he had a head injury. We hoped that maybe he had amnesia and he was somewhere in the camps amongst the homeless or walking the streets or whatever. And that was our, uh, hope that he would turn up, that somebody would find him. But in reality, when it's been that long, chances are not good that you're going to find someone who is still alive. Um, Rachel, let's see. There's way too many homeless. Sure wish they would stop giving the money away and spending on war to feed and house the needy. Why are we so insensitive? Yeah. And let me tell you something about that too. The first guy that I talked to that was homeless, he was in a wheelchair, and I know when you go through the videos, I did not put him on camera. I did not want him to be on camera. I didn't want anybody to feel exploited. Does that make sense? And so when CJ's got his camera one way, you can hear me talking to him. And this is day one video. I don't even know what it's called, but you can hear me talking to him. And this guy actually was a veteran, and he had to have like an amputation. And look, there are home health nurses and people going out there changing his dressing. Like, it's pretty amazing. But I mean, it's cold, it's windy, it's cold, it's not warm. Um, but So I'm talking to him and I'm kind of asking him his story. And what was really really sad about that, oh, I don't know what happened to that comment I tried to highlight. uh but you know I wanted to again, sorry for the growling stomach if you can hear it. Man, it's getting loud. Yeah. But so I'm asking him, how did you end up here? And I don't know what made him homeless, but it really hit home. The veterans. I don't know how many of those people out there are veterans with perhaps PTSD and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. Adjusted fate. The chief explained why the impression of uselessness would appear to be the case, but it's really not that way if you understand what the police know and reason they do things. I mean, I'm not saying I wasn't there. I don't know what happened in the beginning, but what I do know is that first of all, they didn't report Riley missing right away. And then I'm just saying, according to the locals, all right, I cannot say one way or another, but according to the locals, that area was not searched day after day after day. The people who were down there, they were not searching. What I can tell you for sure is the only vigil they had was the night that they found Riley. Like, they had found him in the morning, and there was a vigil that was, I couldn't be there that day because I had to go to a different state. That was Friday. Um, Friday they held a candlelight vigil. But now I see when I'm watching, the news reports about Sebastian Rogers, which is just in Hendersonville, um, they've been holding vigils. And I don't know how you feel about vigils, people, but I think it means something to the family and the community. The prayers. I know not everybody is, all into that. Um, and if you're not, I understand, but it's important for the families to feel like somebody cares, and the locals did care. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And the locals who were going to that spot every single day said nothing was really being done until all of these YouTubers and TikTokers and whatever social media people coming down there had kind of stirred the water. According to, and I will tell you this, you can't hear it on the video about the vigil. You may not can hear it, but CJ's going to redo the audio on that because he has an audio that's closer. It just doesn't, it's not matched with the video yet. But even the family friend was thanking social media for bringing attention to this case and helping to find Riley. That was horrible. Um, the guy that I was talking to was a vet. Yes. Yes, and we do need to take care of our folks. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hello, Christina Rain. How are you? Thank you much. Uh, let's see. French. What do you say? The American people are governed by people that hate America, its constitution, and its people. Sorry. Shh. Hush, Mina. Um, I do I do agree. Do all of them hate America? Well, by their actions, you'd have to say so. I mean, I try not to get real political, but for most people, I'll say this: for most elected officials, it's about the money and power, right? And that's historic, and that's probably true in every country, or at least a lot of them. Rachel, I'm a retired nurse in Canada and cannot believe the deteriorating. Hold on just a second while I tell her to be quiet. She's so excited. I was gone most of the week and now she's running around barking at cats. I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, so let's see, Christina. Yes, because Christina was there and she's from so let me Christina, if you want to come on panel, I can if you want to come on panel, I can figure out a way, I think, without crashing my computer. I've got like so many tabs open. It's kind of like my brain. Um, but let me know and you can come up on panel. The first day I searched was a Sunday and there was no police presence. Okay. See, this is what I'm saying. And let me just add onto here. I didn't know a lot about what was going on or what is going on. I'm just learning. Okay. I'm just at the tip of the iceberg on Nashville. But what we were told, and it is, I've seen it myself, the DA. The DA's office was raided, and there's something about wiretapping, and you know, there's a lot of very sketchy stuff going on with some of the law enforcement. Again, for those who do not know me, let me just say once again, I work in corrections. Okay, I'm a nurse that works in a jail. I love my corrections officers, buddies, you know, we're like family. The deputies, the whole 9 yards. I and I think that I work for a very good uh department, okay? Not all of them are. Mine happens to be a good one. Um but can anybody be corrupted? Do I see people go bad? Of course I do. Of course I do. It's heartbreaking and we all get so angry when a coworker of ours, somebody that we thought the world of, you know, has to be let go or put in jail depending on what they did. Yeah, but my county doesn't play around with that. If you're dirty, yeah, you get busted. But so I don't hate LE, okay? I love LE. These are my family in my area. But do I understand that there is a big problem and a big uh temptation, okay? Let's just say temptation. Let's talk about it for a second. Let's say you make, I don't know what they make in Nashville. Let's say you make as a policeman 15, $20 an hour. I don't know what they make. I don't ask them. But let's say that's what you make, all right? And you are normal living, paycheck to paycheck like most of us. And then all of a sudden you do a drug bust and there's $10,000 of cash. And nobody knows but you and your partner or just you, whatever. I mean, can you see where this kind of line of work breeds temptation? Not saying that, people can't do the right thing. They can and should. But I see how putting especially if you don't feel respected at work, if you have bad sergeants or whatever, and you feel like, hey, look, you know what? Nobody's going to know. It happens, and that's how it happens. I mean, some people go into it. Look at James Burke up in New York, Long Island. Uh, he went into law enforcement so he could be a better criminal. And he did a good job at it until he went to prison. Um, but that's a whole other case. Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot I want to talk about. Let's see, adjusted fate. They knew more. They knew he more than likely fell in the Cumberland. They also knew it would take 14 to 20 days for him to float. I guess it depends too on a lot of factors. We have a big lake around us. It doesn't, maybe the Cumberland's different, but I am very, very aware of how long it takes them to find a body. And our lake is pretty daggum big. It's part of the Tennessee River, okay? And it doesn't take that long. Now sometimes, but it usually within a few days they start floating. But now there is a big undercurrent there. Yes, Rachel, I believe that true. Collective prayer is very powerful. Um, and like I said, it's like to each his own, okay? But I think it is important for me. I mean, I don't mind saying it. For me, I believe that prayer is extremely important. And, sorry. Apparently, cats are just fascinating. Let me unmute. Okay. So sorry about that. Come on. I'm trying to get a comment up here. Family friend Chris all but said family wasn't happy with Ellie. Yeah, see, that's again, this is what we were hearing, boots on the ground from the local people. We weren't going around, and let me stress this, okay? We weren't going around, with a microphone and a camera saying, hey, what do you think? We did not ask one person on camera. We did not approach not one person and say, hey, what do you think? Um, I can't remember anybody that we did that with. It might have been an off camera or outside of the camera. We saw the parents down there. We did not, and they were really just a few feet from us. We did not approach them because we were streaming live. We didn't want, like, look, that's not what it's about. We saw them. We turned the cameras away. Okay, so we didn't want to exploit anybody, and we figured if they want to say something, then they can come up to us. But that was the thing, everybody was coming up to CJ and saying, hey, let me tell you this, let me tell you that, are you live? Well, I will. They were so frustrated, y'all. That was the thing, they were so dadgum frustrated that they were wanting to say to anybody, to any social media, to any way they could get the message out there that something is wrong in Nashville. Uh, Tom Campbell, hello, hello. Did the locals tell you NCJ trafficking was big in the area? Yes, they did. Yes, they did. And that is, I think one of the things that is probably the main reason that you're going to see me covering Nashville a whole lot. And like I said, I'm just scratching the surface with this one. Um, let's see. Uh, Christina, I live there. I told them. My kids live there. Never get an Uber alone in Nashville. Never. Wow. You know what? I don't know if you said that in one of CJ's chats or somebody else did, but I heard that in the last few days in a chat. Do not Uber. Because you know what? Let me tell you something. Well, I wasn't alone. I had my daughter with me, and a friend. I'm trying to think if I've ever Ubered alone. I've never Ubered in Nashville, but I have in New York City. I sure have. And I would have done it alone too. I have in New Jersey, New York, other airports and stuff. I've Ubered. So there was so much, y'all. There was so much, and a lot of it's in the interviews. That and I know a lot of you haven't seen them on that we streamed together, CJ and I. And so, I mean, I know he's going to cut up a lot of the interviews because when you're looking at a stream, and we were on like one day that we were on, it was 9 hours of live stream. Okay, so you get all the craziness in between, all the joking, the kidding, and the people coming up, and so it's hard to find. Like, it takes a lot of editing. But these are things that I will be showing again and bringing up, and I have to listen again because you get so much information. um let's see. Power is addictive and can corrupt. Yeah, sure. Sure it does. Um, let's see. Okay, don't be rude to people in chat. All right, please. Don't be rude. Just gonna say that. Um, I was born an hour from Nashville, lived here all my life. We don't have many murders or people go missing here in the counties around me. Of course, Nashville is different. Yeah, and that's what the locals were telling us, that Nashville has changed. Because I mean, now I've lived in Alabama. uh, I've lived in other states too, okay, but I was raised mostly in Alabama, and since I've been an adult, I've lived most of my adult life now because I've been here so long in Alabama. Um, but that's what they were saying, is there's so much change with the locals. I mean, with how it was. They're like, Nashville isn't even the same. It not used to not be like this, and it's been. I mean, I couldn't get a number on how many years has it been bad, how many, but the Nashville that we knew before is not the Nashville that is currently there. And when the locals tell you, yeah, trafficking is becoming a big problem, let me tell you something. If the locals are now starting to notice that trafficking is a big problem, then it is a much bigger problem than you even understand, because it goes undercover for a long time before people start picking up, hey, something's wrong here. All right. And then it's always bigger than what you think by the time, unless they've been telling you on the news. But let's think about it. And I'm sure you're going to hear me hammer on this and say over and over and over, Nashville is a tourist town. That is how they make their money. Look at all of the bars, all of the big name, singers that have their own bars there. Like, look, it's supposed to be a happy place where people spend their money. Do you think that anybody is going to want to tell you about how dangerous it is, and what it probably, do you think that they're going to get on TV and say, never take an Uber alone because it's dangerous, because you could end up missing? No, this kind of thing, when you have an economy that is built on such a big tourist draw, you're not going to do anything to scare people off, okay? You've got the big Titan Stadium there. Like, look, there's all kind of big events. We're talking cha-ching, cha-ching. Yeah, and of course, and that's great for the city in one way, great for the economy, but then you have all this other stuff, and I've been watching some news reports on this. The one I watched this morning was talking about how during the SEC, is it the SEC playoffs, whatever, um, or SEC, was it the championship for basketball? Anyway, I was listening to a news report talking about how they bring ladies in, and these are not ladies that are willing. Okay, they're in a situation they can't get out of. They bring all these people into the city so people can have fun, have a good time. And these ladies are, and so they were giving like different signs that you can tell that maybe someone is an unwilling participant, but there they are having to do this. Um, Let me go down just a little bit. Uh, yeah, I don't know on if I have any, since I did this last minute, I don't even know if I've got any. Oh, there's Samantha. Uh, any of my mods, please just don't let put somebody. You don't have to ban somebody, but put them in timeout as a warning if they're being rude. Okay, I don't like to ban people unless I have to. Um, yeah, CrimeCon is in Nashville this year. Yeah, I'm probably. Somebody asked me if I was going. I'm like, "Yeah, I thought about it because it's not that far, and no, I'm not. I may be in Nashville. Hmm. Somebody give me the dates of that. Isn't it May? I might be in. I might go to Nashville, but I'm not gonna go to CrimeCon. But I may happen to be there, so we'll have to get it together, y'all. If anybody's going to CrimeCon in Nashville, I mean, I can try to come up there and meet with y'all, and just get to know you face to face. Um, let's see. Yes, Laura, that's what they were saying. Trafficking will be picking up since there's big events coming up. Um, yeah, exactly. And this is so, I mean, and so I'm looking into the advocates and stuff. There's like so much information in here right now that I've been researching all day. I needed to be resting, but that's just not me. I don't have a brain that can do that. I would love somebody that, to be able to turn me off for a day. Just let me reset and rest. But I woke up this morning. I was so tired last night, and I woke up this morning and eyes popped open. The first thing I'm thinking is I need to see Nashville missing stats. So I'm scouring the internet for stuff. That's just the way it goes. Um, okay, so you're talking about there was this was also going on back to the mid 80s. There's a lot of missing people when you start, and a lot of them are so many cold cases. We're going to talk about some articles that I just found today. We have a Louisville group based group that is highly active with outreach. Oh, that's great. That's great. Uh, True, Rachel. That economy in Delphi. If y'all are new here, yeah, if you go back through my videos, I cover a lot of stuff, but I covered Delphi very heavy, and I will be covering it. I'm like I said, I'm behind on it. I got to catch up, but just so you know, I'm going to be covering Nashville. All right, and I'm just getting started. But yeah, that's the thing. When you have locals who are basically crying out for social media attention and telling us that they do not feel that, first of all, the Riley Strain case probably would not have come up so so much the in the media. I don't think it's something they wanted attention. I'm not saying they did or didn't do enough. What I'm saying is there wasn't a lot of media attention until social media got involved, and then it kind of blew up and you hear all this stuff, and everybody is asking the same question: why is there not more search? Now, let me tell you what I did observe. Okay, on what night was it? Thursday night. Okay, we're down there, we're thinking about what, should we walk somewhere else? It was dusk, and we're thinking, what, we've got some more time that we can spend here. What can we do? And all of a sudden we're on there on Gay Street, and we see all the ambulances. And now we knew we were going to stay out there some because we knew the Cajun Navy was going to be there searching for Riley. And this is my understanding, so somebody correct me if I'm wrong. The Cajun Navy was there because the dad had some kind of connection to the Cajun Navy. Um, the locals were saying, why don't we have more people in? Why isn't the TBI here? Why, this one, that one? And what I heard on the news prior to getting there was Nashville said, well, there's no need to call in all this because we've got the same resources. We can do this. But the locals told me that they had never brought the dogs along the river. Now, where he supposedly fell in and probably did fall in. And you see all the video, we've looked at it hours and hours, from top, from bottom, sideways, every which way. What do you think happened? And there are other videos out there that, kind of make you wonder. I talked to one young man, um, and this was off camera, but he, a very cute, I call them little boys because I don't know, he's probably in his early 20s. I'm guessing, I'm just guessing here. Uh, but, he was a cute, a cute little boy, and to me, and I was one of his things was before they found Riley is he wanted to know if they were trafficked. That was a big question for him. And I said, how, do like, is that a problem with males here? I mean, he would know, he's in that age range. And he said, oh, yeah, it's a big, big problem. So he started telling me some stuff. And I said, have you ever, felt uncomfortable? And, he was like, no, I'm very careful because I know that that's the thing. You think when you have sons that they're going to be safe, but they're not. And there were so many things there. They talk about, uh, that's probably going to be a whole nother episode, that I'm going to talk about the male trafficking, and not just trafficking, but the male crime, crime against males from the bars and stuff like that. Things that you think only happen to females. Not true anymore, y'all. It's not true. It's like trafficking has its own, I don't know. I mean, it is such a, I hate to think about. God, it's so sick. It's so sick. But it used to be, as far as we knew, it used to be mostly women, children, females. And now it's just as bad and dangerous for males. I have two sons and a daughter. You know, I can understand. I hate to think that I have to be as terrified for them as I do for my daughter. Uh, I don't understand. Does anybody know what Papa Roger looks like? I'm referring to Nashville as well. I'm trying to catch up with that statement. The only Papa Roger I know of is in the Idaho case. So I'm not sure. Unless you're talking about, is there something on Reddit? Um or one of these groups. I may have to say, hey, look, let me just tell you right now. Sorry. So sorry. Let me tell you right now, if you have information, if you have a link that you want to drop, I do have a Discord. I don't even know if that link that's up on my main page is still good. But you can email me. It's just silkyandSouthern@gmail. And yeah, drop a link. Tell me what you want, and if you want to remain anonymous, that is fine. I certainly understand why. Um, let's see. Oh, happy birthday, Laura. It was yesterday? I had no idea. Laura Thompson's birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday. I was in a fog of live stream and chat yesterday and walking around Nashville. I don't even know anything, but thank you for letting us know, because man, I feel bad. She's such a sweetheart. Okay. Adjusted Fate says, I wish this stepfather would hush bad mouthing people, bringing attention to Sebastian and helping look for him. He's upsetting a lot of people. Yeah, look, I have seen so many people talking, and I haven't watched those in depth because, like I said, we've been busy. If we weren't live streaming and walking the streets of Nashville, we've been in the car driving. So yeah, we're exhausted. I have not watched them, but everybody said that they have a big problem with the stepfather. And I believe that CJ is going to be going to help look for Sebastian. I think maybe tomorrow, but I'm going to try to cover that if he does go. But I'll let y'all know for sure. I wish I could go. I wish I could go, but my work week is such that it's going to be at least a week before I can go anywhere again. And I hate that. But, I took off a week, so I got to make up for it. Um, okay. Thank you, Tom. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I do understand what you're saying. Okay, good. Um, yeah. So let me show you some stuff. So anyway, let me back up and say this is where we started. Okay, we started thinking we're gonna do at least a day of searching. I bought a pair of boots. I'm like, we're going to walk the waterfront. They said wear gloves. I bought boots, gloves, everything. They said it was very dangerous and it was, really, there's needles in the area, stuff like that. So we came prepared. But what we did the first day is realize that there was a lot more going on in Nashville. And whether it had to do with Riley, whether his was accidental, um, there are, and I don't know, waiting to see the autopsy that will, preliminary. I know they said no, no foul play. Now, here is my problem, okay? Just as a human, when you haven't got a body and all you've got is some sketchy video of him obviously being intoxicated, hitting his head, the whole 9 yards, right? When this is going on, you please tell me how you can say no foul play. And right from the beginning, the police said there's no foul play. We don't suspect foul play. Really? Because you've got a drunken person walking around the streets of Nashville completely vulnerable and then they disappear. How can you say there's no foul play? I mean, maybe there's not. Maybe he did just, get confused, whatever, fall over the rail, But being where he was with the population and the crime that goes on there, when you don't have any information other than a video showing him stumbling around, how are you bold enough to say there was no foul play? Hmm, that's weird to me. I don't think they wanted there to be foul play. They didn't want that in the news. I mean, come on. This is Nashville. You don't want to discourage people from coming, right? Um, and like I said, I understand, cities have to make money like everybody else, but still, it was beyond my comprehension how you could say no foul play from the beginning when you know nothing. And I'm still sketchy on details because I hear one report saying, they found the shirt, they didn't find the shirt was on him. Like I don't even know. Um, Samantha, I still want to know how often they check the river for bodies. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Look, so we're one of the first articles I'm going to show you is on Emily. I think it's Emily Bradley. Um, uh, Yes, adjusted fate. I agree. Now, okay, let me disclaimer here. This is all theory and speculation, right? But people have speculated, and I have not seen the TikTok videos. Okay, again, I have been busy. I've been too busy. I haven't even answered my wonderful people and their comments on my videos. And y'all know, I usually always either at least heart them if I have too many comments that I can't answer them all. I will at least heart it. I've seen it. I appreciate it. And I have not even like there are tons of comments that I have not even addressed because I've been busy. So I have not seen those TikTok videos, but that is some speculation and theory, okay? How did they like that was if you watch the video of CJ almost falling off the cliff, like it's very dangerous there. Okay, the slope, and it's not just the slope. That's bad enough, but there's lots of crumpled up, dry, dead leaves, which makes it. If y'all country people know, like I know, I've slipped in leaves a whole lot of times. And then you just find it. So some people have speculated, did they put it there? I don't know. I'm not saying they did. I've not even seen the video, but it is what is interesting about it is that's where you have to assume, okay, that's not what the video shows, but that you have to assume that if his card was found there, then he probably went over the edge there. But what if he didn't? What if the card was placed there? And, that is one of the things. Um, as while they were searching for Riley when we were there, they found Emily Bradley. They also found a car. It was a law enforcement, okay? Law enforcement car with not just the officer that turned up missing, but the unidentified female. There is a woman out there that sometime when this officer uh, disappeared in the car, he had picked up a woman, I guess, taken her to jail. We don't know who she was. I guess they haven't released any identification. I don't know. But we know that the car was upside down in the river and there was the officer and the woman. They found that while they were searching. I now see I'm like, how do you not know where your officer was last? Why I mean, why weren't you searching for him? Okay, so we have Emily, we have these other two, and then Riley missing. And I don't see boats. I see private boats. Okay. I see barges going up and down. The first 2 days we're there, I see private boats. I see kayaks, like locals going along the shoreline, looking through the water. You can see people, but you don't see like a concentrated effort until Thursday when the Cajun Navy was uh scheduled to go out and search with sonar and stuff that night. Okay, so we're standing on the sidewalk, and all of a sudden we have all these emergency vehicles, and the police are running down the street. And I don't think that, I think CJ had muted his microphone, but what the guy said, and I was standing there, is he's like, they're doing a search effort. A boy. He said, we're looking for a boy. The mom said a boy fell in the water. Okay, so I mean, that's horrific, right? And so we're trying to get out of the way, stay out of the way, and we've just got cameras up the street. We're trying to figure out what's going on. That search goes on for a while, and you have a ton of vehicles out there. All right, you have a ton of boats in the river, and if you watch that part of CJ's video, he asked me how many boats are on this side. I'm like, there's like 5 or 6 right here, and that's not counting upstream. This is just right here. And so we watched those boats for a long time. So then we find out um, that who was rescued, they said, was the next thing we got is no, it wasn't a boy, it was a man. Then we hear the final thing is it was one of the homeless that fell in the river. And let me tell you something. This is my opinion only, but you're going to hear my opinion. My opinion is if it had been a regular time where there wasn't a lot of YouTubers and TikTokers and people out there searching for Riley, do I think they would have had all the, and the Cajun Navy? Do I think they would have had all that presence out there for some homeless person that fell in the river? No, I do not. I think it's like, oh, it's a big show now because we got people watching. We're making all these efforts, which the man did get rescued. Okay, that's great. That's great. But do I think that would have happened on a regular Thursday without all this other stuff? No. Based on what I saw with my own eyes and what people told me, I do not believe that it would have been that big of an effort. It had been like, oh, well, you know, Somebody fell in the river. Oh well. Um, yes, you did, Samantha. Um, you did, and I appreciate it. I appreciate it so much. And actually, I tried to end my stream to let everybody go, and it wouldn't end. My computer wouldn't end it, so it just kept going on with CJ till he ended it. But I went to bed. I was tired. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. Okay. What year did he go missing? Who are we talking about? Are we talking about the cop? Oh, it's not been very long ago. Not very long ago at all. So I just was looking on the news today. I haven't seen anything about who. Um, i we have the cop's name, but still no idea who this woman was in his back seat. I don't know. Um, it's amazing how many cars are in the water for years and no one looks or investigates the rivers for missing people. Yeah. Um, and there's a lot of adventures with purpose. There's a lot of controversy about that group, but there is a lot of groups that do that. And yes, and that's why. Like, look, because they found all kind of people. How does a city that big lose an entire cop suspect, and all? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How do you just lose them? I mean, okay, you a suspect, you don't even know who it is, but a cop car, you don't have GPS, you can't tell where that cop car was and why. Like, you had to know, right? You know where your cops are. So what's up? What's up, Nashville? Why didn't you drag the river? You had to be close. They had to know you were close to that river at some point. All right. Why wouldn't you go search for this officer? Why didn't you drag the river for I don't look. I don't know. I was flabbergasted because when we got there, they said, yeah, they had found Emily, which, by the way, and I'm going to show you a news clipping of her before they found her. They did rule that as foul play. They said head trauma, blunt force trauma, and so I probably will cover that a little bit. Um, not tonight, other than just that one article, but yeah. So they found three other people in the river while people were out there looking for Riley. So I guess, how many, what I want to know is, on a regular Tuesday, if a homeless person falls in the water, are you going to search for him? Like, you're going to put this much effort in? Because you're not even looking for your cop. Come on. What are you doing, Nashville? Uh, that is bizarre to me. Bizarre. Um, you're right, Samantha. There would have been a lot of paperwork. Um, when it went out, when it should come back. Yeah. And just like, what the heck? Cars, they're not that cheap. Uh that is just Deb, this is the whole reason that I my mind is just it's in a state, okay? It's just in a state of its own. Um because that's what I was saying. What is going on there? Again, you think you're going to do a volunteer, search. And then you come up and it's like, are you freaking kidding me? What is going on in Nashville? It's crazier than you expected. Yeah, it was way crazier. So yeah, that's the thing is, um I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't mean to. The microphone was, y'all, Delphi people that watch this, you will know exactly what Laura means. Was Mike Patty in charge of this search? Makes you wonder, huh? Uh, was the Delphi police, and what about Tobe? Was he in charge? Um, okay, yeah. So that's yeah, that's where we ended up on this. And then plus, when you listen to all of the concerns and you listen to how unsafe it is, and the underbelly of Nashville, it's like, okay, you're not going to stop all crime. Okay. You can be the best city, have the best law enforcement in the world, but you're not going to stop all crime and all organized crime in a city that big. Not going to happen. We know this. But when people are so very aware, and then we've had people talk to us about the bartenders in some of these bars roofing people that weren't good tippers, guys, whatever, get roofied if they don't like them for some reason. And that guys get roofied a lot, and then they're out on the street and they're just wandering around like Riley. Okay, that's easy pickings, right? When somebody's roofied and they don't even know what's going on, it is an easy mark to rob them. My question is, how many people are missing and they don't even know they're missing from Nashville? Let's say I live in Hendersonville, or I live in, wherever, Cleveland, whatever. Or even if I live in Alabama and I'm like, some of my friends are like, hey, there's going to be a big party in Nashville tonight. It's only 2.5 hours away from me. And they're like, let's go up for the night. Well, sure. What if I don't tell anybody? What if I just decide to go to Nashville and like, what, I'm going to hang out. I wanted to visit this one place. And then you don't know. People think that you're missing. They would think I'm missing from Alabama. Well, I don't know. She was last seen in Alabama. But what if you weren't? What if you went to Nashville and it was kind of just a fluke last minute decision and you disappear and they're not even looking for you in Nashville? But you got into a situation where maybe they thought, maybe you're a guy and they thought, I didn't like the amount of that tip. Here you go, buddy. Good luck with that. Or is it, one of the things that we talked about is it a system? Um God, there's so much. Some of the homeless people, and I'm not casting shade, okay? Any one of us could be in a situation where we're homeless. But usually when you are homeless, you there's a certain deficit, okay, of places to wash and, clothes, and it's hard. It's hard living out there. It's hard to keep it all together. There are people popping in and out of those bushes that look really good, okay? I don't mean like, I wasn't like making eyes at any homeless people, okay? It's not like that. But it, when I would look at their haircuts, their clothes, they could go, all they have to do, and I'm thinking of one particular guy I saw yesterday. Look, his hair perfect, outfit perfect, the hair gel or whatever, like he was done. And I passed him, and I he popped out of the bushes from one of the camps, and obviously there were some other things that he was carrying that made me know that he was part of them. But what scared me so bad is I looked at this man's face and I knew that he did not want to be seen. And there I was. I didn't even have my camera on though, so I didn't get a video of him. But I thought this man could walk into any of the bars in Nashville and blend right in. So you have people that, like, it can be a whole system. Somebody in the bar is observing, they blend in. They're part of this, let's just call it, a homeless conspiracy, or, people who are down on their luck, who are committing crimes. Like, it's a whole network. You send somebody into the bar, maybe he roofies somebody, maybe he just has he's just watching. He knows that they're inebriated. He knows who's stumbling out. Look, and then you just walk out. The problem is like you don't know. And I thought if I were there by myself in Nashville and I was in a place like that, I wouldn't even look twice at this man. Okay. I would not think there was anything wrong with him. I would just think, yeah, he probably, I don't know if he's local or not, but, he likes country music. He's in a bar, right? takes care of himself to a normal, I would say better than normal degree. Some people just come in there however they come in. Um, but other people, like this person, looks like he wants to blend in. You know what I'm saying? To look like he is somebody. I mean, he is somebody, but y'all know what I'm saying. Um, Curious Mind, that's five bodies found in 2 weeks. Okay, yeah, I forgot about the Hispanic male. Yeah, I remember that. See, they had told us that. Like, how many? And this is just because they're looking. How many bodies are in that river? None of us know. None of us know. Uh, let's see. Now, what was that you were saying, Laura? I missed that. 2 hours for your certificate. What are you? Let me go back up in here. Uh, oh wait, let me. What kind of certificate did you get? Somebody in the bar dosing people, figuring out rob for or traffic, make a call, describe clothes, pickup crew outside. Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. And here is the thing that bothered us is one of the people that interviewed for a long time, and you will hear this again, told us that the bartenders are also not all, not every single one, y'all. If there's a bartender in here, I'm not calling you out, but the bartenders often are in on that whole little game because they're serving, right? They know who's had too much, they know who's intoxicated, they know who's got money, that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's a whole little network. Uh, oh, okay. You're talking about okay, talking about serving. Are you a bartender, Laura? Did I miss that? Uh, okay. What Gina brought it. Okay, Tom Campbell. That makes it federal after three bodies. What? It's a federal case because of the number of people, or did I mean, the bartender certificate. Okay. Um, Yeah, listen to those stats. The American trafficking industry brings in about $800 million a year. Wow. Wow. I'm not going to say it doesn't happen in my area, but one of the other things, and I'm going to go on to just some quick articles. One of the other things that I noticed, okay, because I was coming from different directions, all right. When I started out the first day that I was coming, or two trips, I came from West Tennessee into Memphis. Okay, then I came from going south to Alabama for 2 days or two trips. Okay, two different trips, and there are so many interstates. Okay, when I would put it in my GPS, because I don't know Nashville, I don't know what I'm doing. When I would put it in the GPS, I would see so many and I would get rerouted all the time. There were so many, and I'm not talking about small roads. I'm talking about major roads in and out of Nashville. As a matter of fact, yesterday when I was coming back last night, I started out going to one city that I thought I was going to the way I'd come the day before. Thought that's how I was going home. No, it rerouted me. It put me on a whole different interstate. I didn't even know I could get to Nashville this other way. I was like, huh, what you know about that? I didn't know this was a good route to Nashville. Who knew? Um, but when the problem is it makes people easy prey, because that's why Birmingham, Alabama, is such a hot hub in Atlanta for trafficking, because there's so many interstates going in and out. You pick somebody up, like you're out on an interstate so quick, and people don't even know which one. It's like a big jumble. And you could be from Nashville, you could be in another state very, very quickly. All right. Birmingham, you couldn't be as much, but Nashville, like you've got, you got Alabama. Um, I'm trying to think about my geography. What's right above? Is it Kentucky? Is it Indiana? What's right above Tennessee? Um, I don't usually go that far north, but and especially I was talking about when I was in I was kind of in the corner. I was south of Memphis, but right there at that corner at the state line, you have Mississippi, Tennessee, um, and Mississippi, Tennessee, and Alabama. Yeah, God, I'm tired. Anyway, sea status. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. That's right. Lookout Mountain can seize 7 states. Yeah. So, okay, in Kentucky, right above it. Too. Thank you. You think I know this. All right. So, but the point is you can be in another state. You can be so out so quick and gone that people don't even know you're missing. Like it's only been an hour and you're in another state. You see how dangerous this is? And that's why cities like this and even Memphis is terrible. Um, but it's the whole, and I used to live north of Memphis for a little while, and of course this was a long time ago. I'm sure trafficking was going on, but probably not nearly like it is now. But it's very true, the same thing. You can be somewhere else so quickly. Um i i and Memphis, kind of the same thing. Now there is another case. All right, let me throw this in here. One more thing before I show you these articles. Um, I believe somebody told me it's in Texas. I knew it's further away. They are looking for an SK or potential SK, but the police aren't doing anything about it. SK is a serial. I can't say that on YouTube, but you know what I'm saying. Like the Long Island, we just call it the Lisk case. There is a similar situation where there is a city on a river. And but the people that are going missing are men, not women. I'm sure they have their fair share, but they're thinking that it is a conspiracy with the bartenders, with people getting these men robbed and thrown in the lake. All right, there's a lot of, and um uh they think that it is a SK. I'm gonna say I don't know if it's one person. I mean, it could be, but it's the same kind of case, and I am probably gonna at least spend one show talking about that and the similarities to Memphis. Um, to be fair, Memphis has always been scary. Yeah, you got that right. Yeah, serial cartoonist. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm gonna change this for just a second. Sorry, I know I've been talking a lot, but I'm gonna tell you something. I've missed y'all so bad. So bad. All right. Wait. Let me move this up. Sorry, my computer is so terribly, terribly slow, and it's just making all kind of noise. All right, here we go. This is, and I chose this article because it's March 19th, 2024, just a couple of days ago, right? And this is in Tennessee. 15 Middle Tennessee. We're not talking about Memphis. We're not talking about West Tennessee or Middle Tennessee. All right, all this area. 15 Middle Tennessee children who still have not been found. Wow. And when a child disappears, we know that the probability is that it's a non-custodial parent or something like that. Like the majority of cases were taken by parents. But for those who weren't, then if that's not the case and you can quickly rule that out, then it's bad, okay? So I was looking at this. They're still looking at, of course, about Sebastian Rogers. Um, Man, that case. I was trying to follow it in chat yesterday. When y'all put links and stuff in and you update on other cases, that's great during a live because, there's a limited amount of time. But look at all of these. So it doesn't list all of them, but I wanted you to see what I started looking at first thing this morning when I got up. And I'm like, missing in Tennessee, missing in Nashville. 15 children. So this it says the cases range from as recently as February 5th, 2024, and that's Abdiel Abdiel Hernandez from Murfreesboro back to, but this is only 2022, May of 2022. So we're looking at 2 years when Kimberly Espana, or I think that's Espana, went missing from her Nashville home. How do you go missing from your home? Um, and then Andre Chavez Rodriguez. So, yeah, now, so I woke up to 15 kids. Now, this is not even talking about the adults, the men, the people falling in the river, right? Uh, let's see, Rogue Legend. They have a different tempo address near the river. Yes. And if you look at CJ and I walked down there. What is today? Today is Sunday. It was Thursday night. So that would have been the second series. Um, whether you're looking from his channel or I streamed it from mine also. Um, it's towards the end of the video, and I don't know how many hours that was. We were out there all day, but we walked at night down to a place when he put in tempo. There's several tempos. We didn't know that. It's kind of a, not that common of a name, I wouldn't think. But there were several tempos, and one was his hotel. It was Marriott, I believe. I mean, it was called Tempo. I guess they have to distinguish which from which, one from the other. But then there was also a software company called Your Tempo. So if he was inebriated and head injury, whatever, stumbling around, and he's trying to find directions to um his hotel. If he clicked on Your Tempo, several things came up at once, it would take him along the river. So that's where we went all down through there to the building that was Your Tempo, and it is sketch down there. Okay. um there's a lot of construction going on, so probably not as big a problem in the daytime, but at night, um, apparently coming in from the other direction, it's not as sketch. But where you are along the river, there is one big apartment building right there, and when you get close to it, it starts like it's got this huge police light, and it goes around, and you have this major voice saying, warning you, this is, protected 24 hours a day. And you're like, how bad does this area have to be that you've got to have this thing, this blue light and this announcement like over loudspeakers that you're protected? And it's because the river is right there and the camps are right there, and it is so sketch. It is so dark right in that area. So yeah, and that's, you keep going past that is where Your Tempo is. So yeah, it's crazy. Um, let me look at uh okay, this is Emily Bradley. Make sure this is where you can see it. Hello, there we go. All right, so she started a new job. She had a service dog, and she left home, and I'm gonna pull this down. Hopefully, we won't get any commercials in here. Oh, that's nice. Nice. Oh, come on. I just read this. But now remember, this is the one Why is it not? It let me read it earlier. Now it's just going to give me ads. Ugh. Okay. Do y'all hate this as bad as I do? Oh my God, I hate looking at articles like this. Um, yeah, it was all up. But anyway, she is one of the ones. For whatever reason, this is not going to let me share it. They did find her. Again, I'm going to do probably another short video or short live, one or the other, on her story. Um, let's see. Yeah. But this just kind of scratches the surface. All right. Let me. Yeah, and you're saying your tempo music. Let's see. I did hear that too. I knew there was three things at least called, okay, music management software company. All right, and there's something else that's tempo too. Somebody was showing us. Um, those missing do all have Hispanic names. And look, that's something that I found out while I was researching this. The reason a lot of people are trafficked in and out of everywhere, not just Nashville, is they're paying off debts. That's a whole nother problem. Um, but then there's a lot of people that are missing that are not. Um, yeah, you're right, Samantha. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. And that's exactly what happened. You know, you think you're going to Nashville for one thing, and you're just like, okay, I'm going to help search. You know, even if it's a couple of days that I spend here, we're going to do what we can, and then it's over. But what was so moving to me is the passion that the locals had about their city, and without fail, here's the thing, Nashville. Without fail, these people who were complaining about LE and complaining about the crime all said, I love my city. I love Nashville. Okay, they're not haters. They're just sick. That's what they all said. We're just sick of it. We're sick of the crime. We're sick of, how it's changed. The way that it used to be versus now. The corruption, you know, again, we all know, I've lived in big cities. We all know there are neighborhoods that you need to stay out of at all times, okay? It is what it is. But as a whole, you shouldn't be afraid, have to be terrified to go into a city and you can't even Uber by yourself. You can't even, think, well, as long as I'm here at the bar, I'm safe. Not that, somebody isn't going to make something up and roofie you or send you out. You just say, okay, we're kicking you out for whatever reason. And because one person was saying that someone they almost got kicked out. That who was it that was talking? They said somebody almost got kicked out because of them, because this guy, and the bars are very crowded, as you can imagine. And this guy is walking by, they're in there like sardines. And as he's going by, he accidentally touches her bottom. I'm not even going to tell you what I did one time. And there was, it was a complete accident. It is a small town and there was a lot of space. Okay. But it was, it was one of those stories like this would only happen to me. But anyway, this guy brushes back by her, and as he's going, he accidentally, touches, because there you are, crowded. And she said, I knew that he didn't mean anything by it. Like, it wasn't like that. It's just, but somebody saw it, and he almost got kicked out until she said, no, no, like, it's fine. It was an accident. So you can imagine how many people are just, I don't even know who I'm touching in a crowd like that, okay? You just pushing your way through. You got whatever. Not saying that there aren't some mashers aren't out there. There are, but sometimes how easy would it be for a bouncer to say, "Hey, I saw you touch her. and kick you out, and then you're just a mark. You are a mark from the beginning. Adjusted fate. Riley was so far off course to his hotel, it makes no sense. Yes, I mean, it doesn't make sense, except that we know that he was not in his right mind. Was he that drunk? I mean, I don't know. To me, it seems more like a roofie deal, unless they had just been letting him pub crawl and he was that bad when he got in. Why would you even serve him? And they said they only served him one drink. Why would you even serve him one drink? He had to be clearly intoxicated. So it would seem to me that there was more going on. But even if not, okay, even if he was just very drunk and then he hits his head on the pole, he's very disoriented, I can see him typing in, or trying to find his hotel. There's a lot of questions to me as why his friends didn't follow him out. I mean, on one hand, I feel like it's reprehensible that nobody followed him to make sure he got home. On the other hand, if you're out and I'm not saying I would do it, okay? I would make sure somebody got home. I'd call an Uber myself. But let's just say you're only a few blocks from where you're supposed to be going. You are not expecting this to happen. Like, you're out having a good time. Who goes into Nashville thinking, oh, we're going to lose one of our friends forever? You know? Uh, but I'm just the kind of person, I worry about everything. Like, I worry about everybody. When I'm with somebody and they've got little kids, like, I'm always watching their kids because I'm always thinking, I don't know if you're seeing this, but I'm seeing this. Um, just the way my mind works. Uh, okay, Laura, we should chat sometime about this. Oh, you're talking about to Samantha. Yeah. Y'all, y'all get together and help each other out with all that. I can read kind of what you're saying in the comments. I'm not really keeping up with. I love those home remedies though. Ask CJ. Maybe don't ask him. I do love home. I love different alternative remedies for stuff. Samantha says, and really, what's up with law enforcement? When I can watch a live video and see what's going on. Yeah. Hey, by the way, um, and I really wanted to see this. Uh, let me find this YouTube channel. Somebody uh sent it to me in a message. It's called Z Pierre something. It's a number. Oh my god, I'll have to find it. And look, this guy, it's not a crime show or anything like that, but he literally goes down Nashville and he's walking along the streets, walking in bars and everything, and you can just watch live. So I thought, you know what? I really need to take time to uh see if I can observe anything as he's just walking around. It would be interesting. Maybe we could all watch. Mina, hush. Um, yes, you're right. That is the whole thing. All right, just about out of a voice, probably because I've been uh in the wind for a couple of days. But yeah, I just wanted to let y'all know, if you have any good links, you can email them to me. If you are in my Discord, I'm not in Discord that much. I'm not in. Let me rephrase that. I am not in my Discord that much. But that's usually because people, except for the messages. Now I do get a lot of people that message me on Discord. So if you want to join, and I had a link up on my um, YouTube homepage, like where it tells you about. If that doesn't work, email me at Silky and Southern, and I'll throw you a link out there. Okay. Um. All right, because there is so much going on in Nashville, and I don't know if I have said it in this or my pretend live earlier, but did y'all know that the DA's office got raided? The Nashville DA, he got raided. There's so much corruption. If I hadn't said that in this one, or maybe I said it 3 times, who knows? Um, uh, but it goes into the corruption, the underbelly. It seems like it always comes back to that, right? Anyway, when I left, there were so many emotions when I left Nashville. It wasn't, I mean, of course, your heart goes out to the family of Riley and all that, but it wasn't, it was just all of the things. All of the things that you could see on the streets going on, and the people, and what they what their concerns are, like gut-wrenching concerns. I left Nashville thinking I can't just walk away, you know? Great. It's been a great experience being live in that situation. Really changed my perspective about what I do on this channel. And I work a job. I can't leave all the time. I wish I could. Wish I could be out there now helping with Sebastian, but I can't. Um but it changed my mindset, and it also made me feel like I can't just leave and say, "Oh, that's a shame." Okay? It's easy to say to myself, "Okay, well you did what you could for Riley. They found Riley. Okay, go on. Go back to Delphi or whatever other case you're going to cover." But the thing is when you have local people telling you, if it had not been for social media, if it hadn't been for the pressure of, and it's not just me, it's not just CJ, it's all of us. It's the TikTokers, it's all of us. And when you have family, friends, and stuff thanking you and saying, like, look, it's because you're out here bringing attention to what they don't want to bring attention to. They want to keep it covered because they don't want this in the news. And then all of a sudden you leave feeling like there is a responsibility. Like, how do I just walk off when I know how many more bodies are in the Cumberland River? How many more people are missing? How many more times does this have to happen? How many more Rileys does it take before there's enough outcry, enough pressure for the city to do something? Okay? You're never going to get rid of all the crime, but you can help a lot of it. And let's start with not having corrupt officials. That would be great. What about that? When your DA's office gets raided and it trickles down, and you've got, like, this is a problem. A missing officer, car in the river, that's a problem to me. But that's just my opinion, Nashville. But yeah, there's so many cases. There's so much to talk about. So I kind of, and this is what I was initially just wanted to say with my members. I wanted to like vent all this stuff, but I am very glad. Hello, Professor Puck. Love you. Um, I I'm glad that it turned out this way, because I want everybody to know that I left Nashville torn out of the frame. Okay, just torn up about the people, the things, the homeless, the situation, the cover-ups, and mostly the people who can't sleep at night themselves because they live in a city that they love, but they're terrified to be there, and they feel unrepresented, and they feel unsafe, and nobody should feel that way. And so yeah, that's I only have one voice, but you all participating in this with me, that's more voices. You get enough voices and somebody will listen because they have to. And that's kind of what we're trying to do. Um, Hello, Sherry Faye. Let me highlight that. This morning, hello, Gina. Gina Maxie says uh, they showed Riley's picture on the memorial portion of the show. Someone must have been close to him that works there. Um, look, that I just, I question things like why did the Cajun Navy have to wait until because there was a connection with the dad? Like, whatever, whatever. So just know my people who watch my Delphi stuff and other stuff. Nashville is not going anywhere from my head. Um, I feel like I need to go to Nashville and not film. Does that make sense? I feel like I need to just go and observe. It's hard when you've got a live camera. First of all, you people are looking at you. Don't want anybody to look at me. I just want to go and observe. And I probably will do that. And I probably won't take you with me. Um, but I probably will film and we'll talk about it at some point when I can. All right, I'm going to end this. Y'all, I appreciate you so, 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 so much. You have no idea. I've missed you. We will do another members only live at some point. Maybe, I don't know if I can do it this week or not, but welcome to everybody who participated. I loved your comments, and I'm going to leave so I can talk tomorrow. Anyway, y'all have a great night. Stay safe, and whatever you do, please just stay silky, okay? Bye bye.